Excellent.
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Once in a small town, there was a business owner who owed a large sum of money to a loan shark. The loan shark was a very old, unattractive looking guy, but he fancied the business owner's daughter. He decided to offer the business owner a deal which would wipe out his debt, but the catch was he would get to marry his daughter. Of course, this was met with a look of disgust. The loan shark said that that he would put 2 pebbles in a bag and the daughter would have to pick out one of the pebbles. The pebbles would be black and white in color. If she picked out the black pebble, the loan would be wiped out, but he would get to marry the daughter. If it was white, the loan would still be wiped out, but the daughter would not have to marry her. Standing on the pebble-strewn path garden of the business owner, the loan shark picked up 2 pebbles. And very cleverly, while picking up, he picked up both the black pebbles. But the daughter noticed it. He kept both the pebbles in the bag and now asked the daughter to pick up one. Now the daughter had 3 options. Either she could refuse to pick up the pebble, or she could pick up both the pebbles and expose the loan shark. Or she could simply keep quiet, pick up the black one, and marry the loan shark and get her father rid of the debt. Now, when the daughter reached into the bag, she picked up 1 pebble, and even without looking at it, she dropped it among the other pebbles lying on the floor. And she said, "Oh, how clumsy I am. See, I've dropped the pebble. And why don't you look into the bag and see which color it is so that you would know which one I picked up?" Now the loan shark knew that he was exposed, but he couldn't say a word. He simply looked into the bag. It was a black one. So it was assumed that the white pebble was picked up, the debt was wiped off, and the daughter did not have to marry him. It is not always that we have to choose from the options we have. It is through our out-of-the-box thinking that we can handle our difficult situations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the 5th meeting of VirtuoMasters Club, along with the guests and Toastmasters from You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Please give a big round of applause. Before we proceed further, I would like to tell you all few rules which we follow during our virtual meeting. Please keep your phone on silent mode. Do not switch on and off your video while a speaker is speaking. If your video is on, please sit in an upright position. Do not unmute yourself while a speaker is speaking. And we do not talk about sex, politics, or religion in a derogatory manner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to out-of-box thinking, how can our president be left behind? She has been a teacher to class 12 girls, a batch of 30 girls, for a period of 4 months. And once she had to take them for a movie as a part of Shakespeare project. And in a hall, there was a group of teenage boys who were a little rowdy. Of course, our president got angry, but she stood up, faced them, and started singing the national anthem loudly. And her girls followed her. Needless to say, the boys were embarrassed and left the cinema hall. Her out-of-box thinking got her out of a sticky situation. She is none other than our president, Toastmaster Seema Ramesh. Please welcome her with a big round of applause. Toastmaster Seema Ramesh.
Let's keep it going, fellow Toastmasters, for our fabulous storyteller, Toastmaster Shweta, the Sergeant at Arms. A huge round of applause, please, because she always comes up with fabulous stories, and not just random stories, but stories with a message. And thank you so much for this, the thought about having to think out of the box, because I think right now or anytime we always need to think out of the box. We need to be practical, and we need to have that sort of knowledge where we can react to any situation, because bookish knowledge is not always going to help us out. So we are here on a fabulous, fabulous evening. And what is so exciting about this evening, it's 2 points. One is it is officially the last meeting for us in this tenure, because the Toastmaster year is ending on June 30th. And we are not sad. We just want to keep this as a memory so that we can reflect on it later. And what better way than to do so by having a joint meeting with You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Now, having a joint meeting for us at VirtuoMasters is a huge thing, because this is our very first joint meeting. It is only our 5th meeting, but it is our first joint meeting. And I have always believed that a few heads are always better than one. So in this respect, I would like to warmly welcome the president of You Speak Toastmasters Club along with her members to this joint meeting. A huge round of applause, please. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of the You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club President, Toastmaster Dyashini Roy. I have not interacted with her much. I have to be honest with you all, but with a few chats, I have already come up with some sort of a comfort feeling with this young lady. And I have the pleasure, in fact, to introduce her as a very, very, what can I say? I think she is an active Toastmaster in the sense she has got that passion. With just a few lines that she texted me about herself, I could make out that she takes Toastmasters really seriously. And I was very happy with that. She is an IT professional, of course, but that is not the be all and end all of her life. She's a voracious reader. She loves spending time with her family. And I'm sure there are a whole lot of things that we can get to know about her. But I would just appreciate it if you could please give a huge round of applause once again for the president of You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club. I would like to officially declare this meeting open. And like always, I would like to present our guests today. I can see quite a few of them here. In case I address anybody by mistake from You Speak, please accept my apologies. So I can see Srinjoy Sen. Srinjoy, are you a guest?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I am a guest. I am supposed to join Toastmasters Kolkata. So Mridula sent me the link saying that you should join and have a look at how we do it. So yeah,
Fantastic.
that is why.
Yeah, that's great. Is this your first time as a guest at any Toastmasters meeting?
Yes, yes, that's right.
Great. I hope you have a really good experience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you.
Next, I can see Prabir Ghosh.
Yes.
Yeah. May I have your video on, please, if it's not an issue?
Yeah, it's not easy, but it's a problem with the network. Sometimes it will disconnect it. That's why.
So could you please introduce yourself and tell us how you came to know about VirtuoMasters Club?
Yeah, actually, this is my third virtual meeting I have joined. During that, I'm going to join in Toastmaster You Speak Club in July 1st. Okay, and this meeting information I got from the You Speak site.
That's great. Hope you have a really good experience at our meeting today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I can see Ms. Balachandar. Are you a guest, sir?
Hi, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes. Today I'll be playing a guest role. Probably from next I'll be taking some of the important role and play that.
Okay, and where are you from, sir?
I'm from Kolkata, basically. So I'm working in Kolkata Center. So from my organization only I came to know about the Toastmaster. So it's really interesting to me when I came to know that. So I joined at the moment itself.
Oh, great. That's just great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I can see another guest who has come in again, Rosalina Parveen.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Hi. Glad you could join us for this joint meeting.
Yeah, this is my second meeting with you guys, and I look forward to it.
Okay.
So I'm joining as a Toastmaster in July.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a way to begin a new Toastmaster year. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
There's Pratiti Dasgupta.
Ma'am,
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm facing some network issues. So my name is Pratiti, and I am from Durgapur, West Bengal, and this is my third Toastmaster session, and I will be joining from July.
That's great. Okay. I would also like to acknowledge the presence of a very fabulous lady. She is none other than the area director, the current area director of, okay, now I'm getting the areas confused, but it's Rani Pallavi Mahapatra. If you could please introduce yourself with your area number as well.
I thought I will sneak in, Seema, and I will not be noticed till my turn comes up. But you have a very keen eye. So I am the area director, outgoing area director of area K1. But the definition of K1, Q1, Q2, and everything is going to change from July 1st. So good luck with all of that. Um, and it gives me immense pleasure to join here today. And I must say, I have joined the Toastmaster of the Day, who is one of my favorite Toastmaster of the Day. So I am going to make him feel uncomfortable by raising the expectations very high from him now. And Seema, you have been doing a fabulous job with the president by recognizing all guests. For a moment, every guest was trying to hide, and then they realized that no, they can't do that, just like me. So thank you so much, Seema.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rani. Thank you. I'd also like to welcome, I can see a couple of IBM Blue Voice members as well. I'll take your feedback towards the end of the meeting, but I'm so glad that you could make it today for our meeting over here, the joint meeting with You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club. Right. All meetings, all Toastmasters meetings are recorded by a secretary of the club, a very, very important person. And Toastmaster Shalu Gupta is the secretary of VirtuoMasters Club, and she has done a fabulous job of recording the meeting and bringing out the moments of the meeting, which has been shared in our members group. So if it's okay with everybody, I would like to pass the moments in case there's anything, the minutes of the meeting. If there's any point that needs to be mentioned, we can discuss it later. Is that okay? Can we pass the minutes? Fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Toastmaster Shalu, for doing a fabulous job. Right. Every Toastmaster meeting has to have a person to guide us through the meeting. Now, the guidance is obviously done in various ways. We have several people trying different things, creative things, so that to make the meetings interesting. Now, this gentleman doesn't have to work on that at all because he himself is a very interesting person. The moment he opens his mouth, he says something interesting and which we can always take into account. And I am not exaggerating, believe me. I'm not saying that so also because he is my Vice President Education and I need his support always. I'm not doing that. But this gentleman, he has been in Toastmasters for quite some time and he is ancient where Toastmasters is concerned. But ancient is always good, old is really gold. He has been the charter member of several Toastmasters from the South, from here. In fact, he is even the club coach of the current club that we are conducting the joint meeting with. You Speak Kolkata Toastmasters Club. And this gentleman, he is a professional, of course, but I think he's a professional Toastmaster because I think he eats, breathes, sleeps Toastmasters. So with a huge round of applause, I would like you to welcome the Toastmaster of the day today, who's also known as the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nayak.
Thank you, Madam President Toastmaster Seema, for that larger-than-life introduction. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests to this joint session between VirtuoMasters and You Speak Toastmasters Club. A linker meeting in You Speak Lingo. Now, every Toastmasters session is divided into 3 sections. First section is the prepared speeches section, where you will have speakers give prepared speeches. Today we have 2 speakers who will be doing that. Next, we have the table topic section. In this section, the audience will volunteer to come up the stage and speak on a topic chosen by the table topic master. And the third section is the evaluation section. This is my most favorite section. Here, a team of evaluators will be giving their reports. They will be giving their suggestions on the meeting. A person called the general evaluator will take us through this session and give his observation on how we could have done this meeting better. The general evaluator always has some idea or the other which most of the other Toastmasters misses out. And since we're talking about ideas, a few days back I had a brilliant idea. You know, it's one of actually those ideas which it comes into your mind and you think that, oh, this is a brilliant idea, it simply has to be done. And all of us have tried it, especially if you are not doing it for the first time, trying to cook something. Since it's lockdown, nothing else to do, and kitchen is one of the areas which I have not explored much. So I attempted to make, obviously, I'll not attempt something simple. So I attempted to make biryani at home. Difficult, yes. So, preparation. I looked up all the videos on the internet, famous cooks telling me, oh, it's just put this and just eat it and just do this and you'll get fantastic biryani. So read that up whole night. Next day, went to the butcher, had a lengthy discussion with the chicken, was cutting up the chicken, but this is how I want my pieces to be cut. And as I was explaining to this bewildered butcher, there was a big crowd gathering around, saying something is going to go wrong with this biryani. Anyway, bought all the ingredients, came back home, cleaned up the chicken, marinated it, kept it aside, got the mix ready, got the pressure cooker ready, 2 burners on, one side rice, put the basmati, cleaned it up. A lot of things happening, a lot of preparation. I did everything well. Yeah, so the story so far, how it has gone, you all know that, especially most of you know me little well, so you know I would have done something wrong. Correct. So once I got the dish out, I smelled it and I tasted it, I realized something is wrong. Something was wrong. I'm not saying it was not delicious. It was delicious, yes. The meat was tender, yes. It smelled good, yes. The coloring was there, yes. But was it biryani? No. So I called my wife, and as she came from the bedroom and towards the kitchen, I could see her face reveal the mistake which I had made. So as she came in, and she gives very good evaluations. So she had to break it to me gently. She said, have you done this? Yes. Have you done that? Yes. Did you do this? Yes. She tasted it and it tastes good. Did you use chicken biryani masala or did you use garam masala? Oh. So then she said, it is a good dish, so don't tell people you have made chicken biryani. Tell people that you have made chicken pulao. So how she broke it to me, that reminded me of what general evaluators do. And how I prepared is how I prepare my speeches. So that is how Toastmasters and chefs who are Toastmasters and Toastmasters who try to be chefs is related, and hence the name. And just like how mature my wife is, the general evaluator in my life, similarly we have today a very mature person, a very good cook himself, who is going to be the general evaluator for today. He has recently made an Odia delicacy called the Shantula, which is a delicious mixed veg dish which has still not been claimed by a neighboring state as their own. No politics, okay. So I call to the screen Toastmaster Lingaraj Ray to introduce his role and his team members. Toastmaster Lingaraj.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishnes. You are a wonderful speaker, and I'm privileged to be in this joint meeting between Virtuous and YouSpeak, and with a large participative guest. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Krishnes has pointed out how should a general evaluator be. Do I measure up to that? That will only be evaluated post session. There is no official setting where you can evaluate the general evaluator yourself. The fundamentals of cooking, I will go through in another session. Maybe I'll choose one of the topics in one of my future speeches. What are the fundamentals of cooking? But for today, for pertinent evaluation of our session, I will need the help of three other evaluators. I will like to introduce each of them. First would be Toastmaster Anurag Jain, who is the grammarian of the day. So Toastmaster Anurag, if you could explain your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and to-be Toastmasters. I am Toastmaster Anurag, and today I'm playing the role of a grammarian. My role as a grammarian is to pay close attention to the good and the not so good usage of English language, and to provide suggestions for the same. Now, my role doesn't end there. I will also be introducing you to the word of the day, which is coerce. Coerce. It means persuade an unwilling person to do something by using force or threats. The synonym can be pressure, press, push, force, compel, or intimidate. An antonym, that means the opposite, is persuade or cajole. An example of the sentence is the bully tried to coerce the small kids into giving them their lunch money. I would encourage all the speakers to use the word of the day as many times as possible. And whoever uses the word of the day will be rewarded with a virtual applause. And I'll present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon to do so by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anurag. That was a wonderful description of your role. Next, I would invite the R counter, Toastmaster Swarup Chakravarti. Swarup, please explain your role.
Thank you, Lingaraj. A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm playing the R counter today. This is my first time as an R counter. And my role is to note down words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks during the session. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words, including well, but, so, like, and you know. I'll also listen for filler sounds, including or. I'll further note down whenever a speaker repeats a word or a phrase, such as I, this means, and at the end of the meeting, when called for, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, Lingaraj.
Thank you, Sarup. And The other role player would be the timers, and that's Toastmaster Piyali Datta. Piyali, if you can explain your role.
Thank you, Team General Evaluator. As timer, I will alert each speaker for the time they have left using 1, 2, and 3 bells for minimum, middle, and maximum time remaining. Today we have 2 speakers. For first speaker, the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. Minimum time is 4 minutes. At that time, I will ring the first bell like this. Can you hear all? At 5 minutes, I will ring the second bell. And at 6 minutes, I will ring the third bell to denote the maximum time. And they have 30-second grace period on the upper side. For second speaker, he will complete the CC. So his time limit is 8 to 10 minutes. At 8 minutes, I will ring the first bell. At 9 minutes, I will ring the second bell. And at the 10th minute, I will ring the third bell. And he also has 30 minutes grace period on the upper side. For evaluator, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. That means 2.5, then 3. And for at 2 minutes, I will ring the first bell. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will ring the second bell. And at 3 minutes, I will ring the maximum, the third bell, that is to denote the final bell. For table topic, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will ring the first bell like this. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will ring the second bell like this. And at 2 minutes 30 seconds, at 2 minutes, I will ring the third bell. And he also has the 30-second grace period in the upper side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piyali. So my real evaluation will start after the completion of the second session. That is the second section of this meeting, which is the impromptu section. And I'll present my general evaluation along with all the speakers evaluation by their respective speakers, speech evaluators, and the 3 tag roles, the grammarian, the R counter, and the timer report. With that, the e-podium is back to Krishnas, the chef in command today. Welcome, Krishnas.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lingaraj, for that crisp tour through your role and your teammates' role. Jumping straight into the proceedings, let us hear what the evaluator for Speaker 1 has to say about the objectives of the level and project being attempted. I call on screen Toastmaster Debashri from You Speak Toastmasters to please share the speaker's number 1's speech objectives. Toastmaster Debashri.
Thank you, Toastmaster Krishnesh. So the objective of the icebreaker speech, which is going to be given by Toastmaster Ashutosh, is first to introduce yourself to the club or to the clubs, and the second one is to learn the basic structure of a public speech. I wish you all the best to Toastmaster Ashutosh. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Debashri. Our first speaker is from VirtuoMasters Club. He is one of the new members of the club. And while talking to him about his chef escapades, he told me recently he's attempted to make the Dalgona coffee. And knowing him, at least for You Speak, it must be, you will see him in action today. But for the VirtuoMasters people, we know him to be a successful person in whatever he does. The first time he took up our counter, the first time he took up timer, and today the first time he's going to give his icebreaker. I'll just increase the pressure by saying he's obviously going to do fabulous. What he learned while doing this, making the Dalgona coffee, is he realized that it requires patience and it requires a state of mind and to do everything in the right way so that layers come out perfect. And I'm sure that's how he's made his speech out to be. With that, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Ashutosh Mundra. Toastmaster Ashutosh, time to sell my lemonade. Time to sell my lemonade. Toastmaster Ashutosh.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Krishnesh. For a moment, I was confused if you're talking about me or someone else. So thanks so much for being so kind with me. I sincerely appreciate it. So good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and respected guests. I and my hodophile wife were relaxing on a pristine beach, in eastern part of Australia. And suddenly a hot air balloon comes from the other side. And the gentleman on this balloon asks, "Hey mate, can you please help me? Where am I?" I politely replied, "Sir, you are at 153.0678 degrees east, 36.0567 degrees south, 10 meter above mean sea level." On this, the person gave a perplexed look and politely asked, "By any chance, are you an engineer?" I sprung with joy from my place and I asked him overwhelmingly, "How come you know so much about me? Are you directly coming down from heaven?" On this, the person replied, "I guess so, because whatever you said made no sense to me." Trying to make sense, trying to entice audience is an idea which I have always possessed in my life. If I close my eyes right now, that picture is still live in front of me, where I was participating in a debate competition in Vidya Mandir Auditorium. The debate was organized by Kolkata Police. My turn came and they invited me to come on podium and deliver my speech. I went up, started the speech. I was barely able to speak a few sentences, rather a few words. And then I came down teary-eyed without even completing my speech. When I came back home, my father asked me, "Beta, how was your session?" I replied with my eyes down, with all the shame and disgust in my eyes, that, "Papa, I was not able to complete my speech." On that, he told me a story of a great freedom fighter and orator, founder of Banaras Hindu University, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, and similar incidents which he faced during his school life. Till date, I have not asked him if the story which he told me was real or he made it up, but all I know is that story made its home in some corner of my mind. And with that remained the determination that I will also be a great orator. As the famous saying goes, when life gives you lemon, make some lemonade. And I have been extremely fortunate that life gave me so many opportunities of making lemonade. Since last 15 years, I am working with organizations and customers, helping them in achieving their strategic goals with the help of technology. And the most important thing which I need to do as part of this job is to have an untiring ear and make loads and loads of presentations to individuals and to customers. It is this customer facing part, it is these presentations which I really cherish the most. And that small story in some corner of my mind coerced me to go towards my goal, to move towards my dream of being a good presenter, a great orator. I started making mine. I made lemonades of different flavor, but every time I knew that in some corner of my heart that there is something which is missing. And it is then the best teacher of my life came to my rescue. And the teacher said, when life gives you lemon, ask for some water and sweetener too. Otherwise, whatever you will make will be nothing but an acidic lime juice. Any guesses who that teacher is? All right, no points for guessing. That's my lovely wife. And to all my unmarried friends, let me give you my best piece of advice. No one, No one in your life can teach you as much as your wife can. And I'm sure my married friends are going to resonate with me for that. And I'm so sorry, that's the side effects of being a sales consultant. I got into advisory mode. Let me come back to my speech. So it was the guidance of my parents, support from my wife, all the diverse experience that I got at my alma mater, 15 years of on-the-job training, gave me enough water to make my lemonade. And it was last winter, last December, when I went to my two lovely daughters' school to attend their annual function. And after seeing their poised performance, I realized that it is this guidance, the training, albeit the sweetener, which is still missing in my life. And in pursuit of my sweetener, I have joined Toastmasters with the hope that I will start selling my lemonade very, very soon. Will you like to pre-order some lemonade today? Toastmasters of the day, Krishnesh?
Absolutely, absolutely. Fantastic. I am so glad that the prediction that I made, obviously not a prediction, but yeah, you did fab, fantastic. And the one thing which I take back from this speech is a memory long forgotten that my grandfather used to do with me. Anytime he had to give me some knowledge from an instance, he would just take up some great person's name and say, you know, in this year, again, the year also he will get it wrong, but with confidence he will say, in this year, that great person, he had done this, and now he is doing this. So this is what you have to do. And I'll be like, yes, of course, such a motivated. I would go on. So his objective was, at least you are motivated. Don't worry about the story part. Now you are motivated, go ahead. Okay, very good. That being said, fantastic speech. Now we have one more speech to go, and that is an 8 to 10 minute speech. So let us have the evaluator for speaker number 2 give out the objectives of their speech. Toastmaster Rashmi Panna Ray, please can we have the objectives for speaker number 2?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. Can you all hear me? Thank you.
Yes.
Today, the speaker is going to deliver the final speech of the CC manual from the legacy program. You know, in those days when we used to give us CC10, the final speech, everyone used to give us a standing ovation. Since it's not possible today, let us all unmute ourselves for some time and give a big round of applause, okay? Today, the speaker has to inspire the audience to improve personally, emotionally, professionally, or spiritually, relying heavily on emotion appeal. The speech should appeal to noble motives and challenge the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs and achievement. The speaker has to remember to use all the skills used in the previous project, like using good verbal language, using good body language, using vocal variety, visual aids, research, and the power to persuade and inspire. Wishing my speaker the very best. Timer, please note that the time given to the speaker is 8 to 10 minutes, and I will present my speech when the general evaluator calls me to do so. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Panna, for that beautiful reminder of applauding Toastmasters who are giving their final speech. And also, the same thing happens when someone gives the icebreaker. But this is that one platform which, this is where, you know, I think this is the only place where we are missing out. And we have got so many advantages based on, from the online platform, but this applause part is where we have to figure out something, we have to do something, yes. That being said and done, our next speaker is someone who had only one responsibility in the kitchen department. He had just one responsibility, and he had an error-free record up until recently. That one focused, one responsibility, one work was every night you have to boil the milk. Recently, he messed up with his timer, and the hot evening or hot night, he said, let me just go to my bedroom, switch on the AC, and the AC took over him. Who cares about timer? Who cares about milk? Who cares about duties? That's it. And by the time he thought about his error-free record, it was too late. He went to the kitchen, the container was charred, still hot, the milk was nowhere, it had all evaporated off on the floor. And then, being the gossip monger that I am, I asked him, what else happened? What did your wife say? He said, no. That I cannot tell you. That later. Keep it for later. That is not for your consumption. So with that, I introduce the next speaker from You Speak Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Parimal Sarkar. How much is enough? How much is enough, Toastmaster Parimal Sarkar?
Can you all hear me and see me clear?
Yes, we can hear you and see you clear.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Someone said, no matter what you do, you will never have enough. You will never have enough. Essentially, you will never have enough money, especially money, because we all are inherently greedy. But the question is greed a permanent slavery? Can we focus on our ambition rather than our greed? Can we concentrate on what we have over what we don't have? Question remains the same. How can we suppress the greedy evil inside us and lead a healthy and happy life? Let me tell you a story about a Mexican fisherman and an investment banker. Once upon a time, an investment banker was visiting a small coastal Mexican village where a small boat with just one fisherman was docked. Inside the small boat, there are several large tuna fishes. The banker complimented the Mexican on the quality of his fish. Hey, good fishes. How long did it take you to catch them? The banker asked. Only a little while, the Mexican replied. Only a little while. Why didn't you stay out long and catch more fishes? The banker asked. This is enough to support my family's needs, the Mexican replied. But what do you do with the rest of your time, man? The Mexican fisherman said, I sleep late, fish a little, play with my children, take a siesta with my wife, Maria, stroll into the village each evening where I sip wine and play guitar with my amigos. I have a full and busy life, senor. The banker flouted. I am an Harvard MBA. I can help you to grow. You should spend more time fishing, and with profit, you can buy a bigger boat. You slowly can buy multiple boats. Eventually, you will have a fleet of fishing boats. Instead of selling your catch to a middleman, you would sell directly to the consumers. Eventually, opening your own can factory. You'd control the product, the process, and the distribution, all. You'd need to leave this small coastal fishing village, however, and move to Mexico City. Then gradually to Los Angeles and eventually to New York City, where you will run your expanding enterprise. The Mexican fisherman asked, but senor, how long will this all take? About 15 to 20 years only. But what then, senior? What then? The banker said, that's the best part. When the time is right, you'd announce an IPO and sell your company stock to public and become very rich. You'd make millions. Millions, senior? Then what? The banker said slowly. Then you'd retire, move to a small coastal fishing village where you'd sleep late, fish a little, play with your kids, take a siesta with your wife Maria, stroll to the village in the evening where you could sip wine and play guitar with your amigos. But senior, I am already doing that only. This story tells us a simple thing. Know what matters in our life the most and check if we may already have it. Now the choice is ours to be happy with that or go after the mirage of more. Let me stop beating around the bushes and get to some hard facts. Among all the how much is enough questions, the most important question is definitely how much money is enough, isn't it? Let me look at some of the scientific studies. Slide number 1, please. If we compare life satisfaction reports from around the world done by World Bank, we immediately see that countries with higher average national income tend to have higher average life satisfaction scores. In other words, people in richer countries tend to report higher life satisfaction than people in the poorer countries. This scatter plot kind of hint us that money can buy happiness, isn't? But there is a twist. It doesn't tell us one simple thing. Before going to that, if you focus on this particular slide, and particularly on the right top corner, you see the country are placed there. They have the highest per capita GDP, and they are also placed very high on the self-satisfaction scale, which is on the left vertical scale. Now we will move to the second slide. Happiness and life satisfaction do tend to increase with the income. Second slide, please. But the reality is, it makes and it matters only up to a point. Once people's basic needs are met, yes, remember, once people's basic needs are met, additional money doesn't seem to buy additional happiness. Look at this chart. Horizontal scale is the time span, and the vertical scale is basically the income level. And see, the per capita income has increased more than triple in a span of 3 decades in US. But the percentage of very happy people has still languishing at the same level. This study was done in US, but the same trend has been observed in all other wealthy nations as well. It calls for a rethink and think beyond money, isn't it? Let us move to the slide number 3. Things like relationship, good health, like community culture, play a great role in our life too. For example, the chart here shows culturally similar Latin American countries have a higher subjective well-being than other countries with higher level of economic development. See the countries in the circle, just focus on that, the Latin American countries. The countries in the circle, they are very well placed in terms of the life satisfaction, despite having much lower level of per capita GDP compared to some of the wealthy European nation on its right. The UK, France, and all this placed in the right. And the Japan is also there from the Asia. So this proves that beyond money, community culture and good health and relationship really matters and bring happiness for us. Therefore, understanding the basic need is very, very important. If having a moderate house, a reasonable car for the self transportation, a good food to eat, affordability to healthcare is our basic need, let it be that and draw the line of enough there. That would help us reduce our stress level and stay happy. But unfortunately, most of us have been conditioned to chase for money and chase for more and more. It definitely sounds spiritual, but let us all try to understand that this vicious cycle of wanting for more would not buy us any additional happiness, but throw us into the slippery slope of endless rat race. So let us all pledge to be ambitious, but not greedy, and begin our journey from madness of more to the wisdom of enough. Because, friend, enough is enough. Thank you, and over to TMOD Chris.
Wow, fantastic. So with graphs, the only problem whenever countries' graphs are shown, the first thing I look for is where is India. So that after that, my main takeaway from this was when you said enough is enough. And if I have to relate it to what I do with my cooking is, again, like how Ashutosh said, the most valuable information or the knowledge is given by the wife. She always tells me, always add little less salt than that is required. You can, after the dish is made, you can always add more salt. But once you add more salt, then there's no going back. So that's a good one. Ashutosh, yeah, married guys, we'll have to exchange notes on this one. That being said, now it's time for the table topic session. And that is where all the guests, we hope that you will not be coerced into taking the stage and you will come up on your own to prove your impromptu speaking skills. We all have those uninvited guests at home, right? If you guys are unfamiliar with those kind of people, please share your address. I come in that category, I will come over. So it's always a challenge to come up with some snacks for them. So, okay, if you stay in a place where you can easily send your kids down to go get samosas and come, that's fine. But otherwise, you have to be really innovative and figure out some way to keep them entertained. All the while they complain about the person who is going to get samosa about how he's not studying well and his future. Anyway, my stories will come later. So, that being said, I asked the table topic master, what about your chef experiences? He told me that I am a specialist in making 2 items at home. But these 2 items come out best when I am under constant supervision by my wife. Because if she doesn't supervise, then my specialization skill also reduces. So then I thought maybe those 2 dishes must be really complicated. So I asked him, what are those 2 dishes? And he said, those 2 dishes are Maggie and sandwiches. I said, I feel your pain. That is how I also started. So yes, with that, I call upon our table topic master, Toastmaster Sheetal, to take over the session. Toastmaster Sheetal.
Thank you, Krish, for that wonderful introduction. And I'm privileged to be your table topic master for the day. As the table topic master, my role, am I audible? I'm audible now, Chris? Yeah, thank you. As the table topic master for the day, my role is to give you topics for improving your impromptu skills. And believe me and trust me, this is the most important and interesting session because it helps you get over your fear. You're not coerced to get over your fear. but you willingly come up and actually get over your fear. Today, I'll tweak a bit. I'm going to give you a topic, or rather ask you a question, and then you will have to speak good as well as bad thing about that thing that you answered. The timing will be the minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes, and a grace period of 30 seconds on the upper side. The guest will have an option of changing the topic. The members will not have that option. So let's start. I would like to have your willingness in my chat box. Okay, first of all, I'm going to call Toastmaster Midula. Are you there, Midula? Hello? Midula, are you there? Okay, it seems that she
Hi,
is not.
hi. Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, good evening, Midula. And your question is, what is your favorite drink? And you have to answer what is your favorite drink, and then you have to speak good things about it and bad things about it in a matter of time, that is 1 to 2 minutes.
All right. Okay. Okay. Hi. Good evening, everyone, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So my favorite drink would be okay. So my favorite drink would be watermelon juice, and it's an amazing drink because it gives you a refreshing and invigorating experience right after you have it. So no matter how much stressed out you are, if you get a glass of watermelon juice, it will help you to release all that stress, all the tension, and only focus on what's important. So what I like about the watermelon juice is the very fact that the concentrated amount of liquid that comes out from such a big fruit. So here, what I like about this particular drink is how it tells us that if we focus our life into what is important and not try to spread it out too much, that even a very small quantity of anything from a large space or a large volume can help you to understand what's important and prioritize your life. Okay. One bad thing about the watermelon juice would be the seeds which come into the way. But aren't the obstacles in our life also just like the seeds of this particular fruit? I feel that these seeds will always be there. But what's important is how you strain out the seeds and how you focus, or I'm sorry, I'm repeating the same words, how you understand that the seeds will be there, but if you want to enjoy the drink, then nothing is going to stop you. Over to you, table topic master. Thank you.
Great take on that topic, Toastmaster Midula, and it's great to hear you every time you come over to the podium. So now I would like to have someone from You Speak Toastmasters. Can I have a show of hands from You Speak Toastmasters? Can I have a show of hands, or probably a message at my chat? Can you help me?
You have a nomination.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I am probably. Can I type it?
Toastmaster Rani Pallavi Mohapatra. Are you there, ma'am?
No, I am not nominating myself. The nomination in your chat box is for someone else.
Okay, I'm not able to see that.
I'll help you with that.
So I guess.
Swarup has nominated Kunal from IBM.
Okay, great. Saurabh, can we have you?
Kunal.
Kunal, can we have you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. So I would like to ask you a question. What is your favorite holiday destination, and few good things and few bad things about it? What is your favorite holiday destination? Kunal?
Yes, yeah, sure. So every year I am being to a country basically. It's Qatar, okay, and my brother is staying here there. So it's a lovely place, no doubt. Whenever it's a foreign country, you can boast about it a lot, and the journey to that country is an entirely exciting what you can say an experience for me. So it was my first international trip to that particular country, and after that almost every year I have been going to Qatar. It's a wonderful place, and those skyscraper buildings and the 8 lanes roads, these are very fascinating to watch on. At the same time, I have enjoyed a lot, and the desert, those deserts are mesmerizing, as I can say that. But the bad thing about is the temperature of those countries are too high, and you cannot live in such places without the help of AC. Okay, and I have seen that most of the time, if there is a labor-intensive work, in such cases, people cannot come out of their houses and work in their daytime. And that is what which I miss a lot, because if it's too much of sunlight, then it is always advisable to you to do not come out of your houses and stay and use AC. So I felt that it was kind of like an artificial environment for me, which I'm not used to when I'm in my place in India. So the best part was that obviously it's a foreign country, and the kind of development they have done, it's great. And the journey that I go through, taking flight from one place to another, it's always exciting, and I enjoy that. But the only thing is that you cannot enjoy the natural environment without affecting your own health. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Kunal, for that fantastic take on the topic, and you were totally on it. Now I would like to call upon some guests. Can I have a nomination from the guests? If you don't come out, I'm going to get hold of you for sure. Pratiti, are you there? Pratiti, are you there?
Sir, can I speak with the video off because I'm not that comfortable?
That is okay. That is okay. Even I am having my video off due to internet issues. So your topic is favorite pastime. Favorite pastime, and you have to say good and not so good things about your favorite pastime. Did you get my topic? Do you want to change?
I got your topic. Yes,
Okay.
I got your topic.
Okay, go for it.
Since my childhood, I had developed a habit of reading. I had developed a habit of reading. Reading is my solace in the times of distress I face. And I love to read very... sir, can I start once more?
Yes, you can go for it. Start. Go on.
My favorite pastime is to read books and to write poetry and to write poetry and do a bit of academic writing. But I give preference to the habit of reading more I give my habit of reading books an edge over the habit of writing, as in reading I find solace and peace in my moments of distress and duress. My favorite author is Jane Austen. From my childhood, I love to read books of Jane Austen, as I am able to relate with her heroines the most. Those women in the contemporary Victorian setting prove to be give us an example as how the life should be led and in what direction should we proceed in times of moral distress. For example, in the novel Pride and Prejudice, Elizabeth Bennet, the protagonist, is at many situations faces some kind, at some or the other point of her life, faces a very perplexing situation where she is made to choose between her family and the man she loves. But she makes a judicious decision in in negotiating between the both, and gives us provides us an example as how to live our life with dignity. Now, as to my habit of reading, I love reading because like it gives me first of all, I would be honest, it gives me an edge to it gives me an edge to write in my writing skills over other people. But so that's all I've got to say.
Okay, great take on the topic, Pratiti. You're on it. Now I would like to have someone from VMC. The show of hands is kindly invited. Can we have a show of hand or a chat message to me?
In the chat window, Rosalina Pervin has nominated herself.
Yeah, I am using the chat box. Okay, okay, great. Is Silpa there? Silpa? Toastmaster Silpa. Okay, since he's unavailable, can we have Toastmaster Arithro? Arithro from Newtown Toastmasters. Toastmaster Arithro.
Sheetal, before Aritra,
Yes.
Rosalina Pervin has nominated herself.
Yeah, he has nominated. Okay, yes. Okay, your topic is, what is your favorite city in India, and any good points and not so good points about your city, favorite city.
City, right. So I have been a place in India where I haven't seen such a lovely place ever around anywhere, and that's Pahalgaon in Kashmir. When I visited there, the mountains, the lake flowing through the mountains is something I haven't experienced ever. I remember the day we landed, it was morning and it was chilling cold at that time. And on the top of the mountain, it was white all over. And there was a horse standing nearby. And that person told us, "Can we have a horse ride, please?" And I told them that, I requested my parents that I need to have a horse ride. And in that horse, roamed all over that place. And it was such a beautiful moment. And then I thought of going to a place which is called a mini Switzerland in Kashmir, Pahalgaon area. At 4:30 a.m., we started walking to reach there. And trust me, never trust Google Map, especially in the mountain region. You will never able to reach that place looking into the Google Map. And we started looking the Google Map, and as we started walking, it was showing 20 minutes. But when we reached it, it was more than 1 hour. And after walking more than 1 hour, we reached that place. And after that, a huge thunderstorm, lightning, and a shower started. And you can imagine it was a chilling cold moment at that time. And we were drenched in our sweaters, jacket. And I remember that incident. And it was the most beautiful city that I have ever visited in my life. And I would recommend each and everyone to just visit once in your lifetime that place. You will be mesmerized with that mountain, lake, river, and everything in Kashmir. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you for such a wonderful take, Aritra. Now I would like to call Toastmaster Anurag Jain from VMC. Toastmaster Anurag Jain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Your favorite food, good and bad things about it.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My favorite food is none other than the delicious dosa, the South Indian dosa. See, I am basically from St. Xavier's College. So those who know about it, there is this 80th stall opposite of which there is a dosa. There's a dosa stand where the guy called Rahul prepares such delicious dosas. And since I was from the BCom morning department, so I had to wake up early in the morning at 5 a.m. and rush to my college so that I don't miss my first period attendance. So every day I used to eat dosa at 8 a.m. from that opposite that ATS stall. Now the best part is that I never get bored of eating dosas. Even after eating it for so many days, I still miss that butter, that cheese, that masala, and all that spices in it, the dal or the chutneys. The bad part about it, well, I don't find any, to be really honest. And yes, I am a foodie as well. But dosa is something that I can eat all day long. May not be every day, but yes, I can. Thank you, and over to you.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster Anuragyan, for that fabulous take. Even I cannot find any bad points with dosa. Now I would like to have the last topic for the day. Rosila Praveen, guest Rosila Praveen, who is soon going to be a Toastmaster. Can we have you? Are you there, ma'am?
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, your topic is your favorite ice cream flavor, good things and bad things about that. You got the topic?
Yes, that's
You
a
can change
very,
it. As you are a
yeah,
guest, you can change it if you like.
yeah, I will go on with the topic.
Okay, thank you.
Uh, so my favorite flavor is vanilla. So I'm not that fond of ice creams because I used to have throat problems since childhood. But given a choice, I would certainly go with the vanilla flavor. The reason being, I don't like any. Can I please change the topic?
Not get you. Do you want to change the topic?
Yes, I want to change the topic.
Okay. Your favorite movie, good and bad points about it.
Thank you so much. Okay. So my favorite movie is recently I watched a movie called Bulbul. So I enjoyed it immensely. So for a movie to be my favorite, I need there enough suspense, enough drama, but not too long that. But I don't long for that family dramas. A little thrill here and I'm good to go. So Bulbul had all the things packed together, and it made an immense impact on me. So it's a ghost story, but uh, it has a subtle meaning in as the story progresses, and how the ghost avenges the plight of women against their husbands and the amount of injustice made by them. So I enjoyed the idea very much, and it is a short movie, like 2 hours, so not too long enough. Otherwise, I get bored if it is a very long movie. So I enjoyed it very much. And if you ask me what rating I would give out of 5, I would definitely give it a 4 rating. So this is it. Back to you, to Table Topic Master.
Okay, thank you everyone for that encouraging takes on the topic, and I had a great time having conversation, having impromptu session from you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day, Chris.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sheetal. Thank you, Toastmaster Sheetal, for that wonderful session. Of all the topics, the one which I would have loved to speak about was, which is your favorite drink and what's the worst part about it. And just like how Mridula said, I have always been, or rather my grandfather has already always scared me about having the seeds of any fruit because apparently trees will grow in your stomach. So I used to, though I used to love juice, I used to be very careful about if the seeds are going in or not. So again, not true, but my grandfather would. So that being said, we come to my favorite part of the Toastmasters meeting, which is the general evaluation section. For that, let's have back on stage, back to the virtual podium, Toastmaster Lingaraj Ray. Over to you.
Thank you, Chris, and good evening to you all once again. We will start the general evaluation section. First, we'll go through the evaluation of the prepared speeches. Then we'll invite the evaluator for the impromptu section. And then I'll take the report from the tag team. I'd like to welcome first the evaluator for Ashutosh, that is Toastmaster Devarshi, to present his evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lingaraj. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, and Toastmaster Ashutosh in particular. Toastmaster Ashutosh, what a wonderful speech, wonderfully crafted speech. Also, your eye contact was perfect, and stage performance, you are very comfortable in the stage. It didn't seem like you are delivering your speech for the first time. It seemed like you were a seasoned speaker. Also, you were using PPT presentation and the speech was completely in sync with that PPT. I followed it and it was really fantastic. And I liked the anecdote very much about the engineer and it was really funny and interesting, which attracts or hooks the audience in a jiffy. So overall, it was really fantastic. But however, I would like to mention few things about your speech, which can elevate your speech to the next level. You mentioned that your father had told you a story about Madan Mohan Malabdo. I was expecting maybe you would be saying something more about that and how it impacted you as an individual. That part was missing, I felt. And in some cases, your hand gestures were perfect, but in other cases, your hand gestures were like this. Maybe you could keep your hand straight. Your hand gestures were like this. You could keep your hand straight. It is particular in my opinion. Otherwise, it was your speech has some punchlines like when life throws lemons at you, make lemonade. And the very interesting one, no one can be a better teacher than your wife. So all these things made your speech more interesting. Also, you had a smiling face throughout your speech. Overall, it was really amazing. And we would like to see more such wonderful performances from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Devarshi. I would like to add just one point. I felt sometimes the last word of the sentence dies down a bit. For example, when you said Madan Mohan Malavya, Madan Mohan has a different pitch and Malavya is very low. But you are past the competent communicators level 10 already. You are a presenter by profession. The eagerness you had, even though this was your ice breaking or the first speech in the club, the eagerness and the technical prowess that you have shown, it was, I believe, not a PPT presentation that you made, because everything is at the back. It is not like the Teams and the other features where you just insert a background. Your presentation was behind you. So I believe we need to learn from you how you make this kind of jazzy presentations where you are standing in front of your presentation and it is going on the back. And about your gestures, I believe you knew where the caption is, and that is why you positioned yourself in a fashion that the caption is very well read and you are not really overlapping on the caption. I think that was the reason why you stood at one section and not at the middle all the time. It was a fantastic opening speech, and we would love to have you more and more on the e-podium, and I'll be glad to attend in person meeting with while you are the speaker in future meetings. Great, Asutosh. With that, we will move to the second evaluation. That's I'll request Toastmaster Pannarashmi Ray for evaluating Toastmaster Parimal Sarkar's P10 speech.
Let us all rise above the madness of more to the wisdom of enough. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear speaker, a very good evening to you all. Toastmaster Parimal, that was indeed an inspiring speech with a very strong message. Let me start with what I really loved about your speech. Straight away, the strong message. Enough is enough. It was relevant to all of us, and for me especially, because I'm guilty of spending more and needing more. And that was a hard knock on my head. Thank you for that. Secondly, I liked the way you peppered your speech with lovely words of wisdom, like suppress the greedy devil inside us, slipping slope of endless rat race. Wow. Thirdly, I like the use of your visual aid and the statistics. Those PowerPoint presentations that you used to support your theory was very well researched. Kudos to you on that. So how do we take this speech and move it to another level, although you are at a very beautiful level already? First, I felt that your title could have been different. Remember, the title is the first thing that the audience hears about you, and first impression is always the best impression. Make your title mysterious, make it subtle, so that the audience will sit up and listen. Maybe a title like Wisdom is Enough, something simple. Wisdom is enough. It would have been enough to raise our attention more. Secondly, maybe a personal story instead of a story of the fisherman and the banker. That would have added more conviction, and it would have inspired us more. And remember, there is a 25% originality factor. If you use such a long story in your speech, you will be stepping on that line. Please be careful on that. Thirdly, vocal variety. You had such a great opportunity of changing your voice when the two characters were speaking in your story. The banker and the fisherman. Change their voice, bring about drama. It will grab more attention. Toastmaster Parimal, please remember this in your next speech. Fourthly, an inspiring speech needs a strong conclusion, a call to action in the end. Come on, Toastmasters. When will this madness of more be enough for you all? Let us rise above it. End strong, inspire the audience. Toastmaster Parimal, a beautiful, inspiring speech overall, with lovely visual aids, strong message with wisdom peppered through it. Please remember next time to use a personal story, to have a vocal variety, also with an inspiring, strong conclusion, and this speech will inspire many, many people everywhere around you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pannarashmi. That was a very detailed evaluation. I would say a copybook evaluation that had all the elements. For Parimal, as Panna has already pointed out, the title of the speech was there in your body itself. I believe you said at one point, the mirage of more, that would have attracted everybody's attention from the beginning. The mirage of more could have been in place of how much is enough, but it was a fantastic speech. But yes, had it been a personal story, more conviction and more inspiration for others. With that, I would like to welcome the table topic evaluator, Toastmaster Rani.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, sir. Um, Good evening, everyone. And I am absolutely thrilled to be in a position wherein I did not have to speak on the table topics myself, though Sheetal almost caught me at it, but I managed to make my way out. Today's speakers for the entire segment were fabulous. I'll start with Mridula. Mridula, your topic was what is your favorite drink? And I like the twist that the table topic master brought in by asking all the speakers about saying about their favorite thing and then saying something bad about it. So Mridula, when you started, I enjoyed the way your brain wheels clicked and the expression was so genuine that it hooked me. That's a very different way of looking at it, but I enjoyed the genuine way of connect that you gave me in that moment. And you were very precise in justifying as to why you like or why watermelon juice is your favorite. The way you described the concentration, the way you described the essence, it stood out so beautifully for me. And in my recommendation, I would like to say that I saw you bring out the not so good part about it, the seeds, but I felt the passion for your watermelon juice kind of overrode you. And instead of focusing on the bad part, you were immediately switching to the good part again by leaving off the seeds. So that was very quick, maybe a little more on it, or maybe adding an extra point to it because the topic asked you to balance out both sides really well. So that would have been great. And I know you have already figured it out yourself that the summary could have been way smoother. So we could have harped again on the good and bad side and then concluded nicely. What did I like best about your entire table topic speech was the message, wherein you mentioned that how little bit or little things of a large thing can make you revisit your priority in life. So that message was the best part of the entire speech. So thank you for that. Then moving on to Kunal. Kunal, your topic was about the favorite holiday destination. I was almost expecting Kunal to talk about Northeast because he loves reminding us of Northeast. But he took that moment to really talk about a different destination. I enjoyed that. I loved the way I felt that your speech was very well balanced on what are the good parts of your favorite destination, why you truly like it, and what are the not so good parts when you mentioned the weather and the constraints that anybody who is visiting that destination has. What I would recommend you, would you please, I had this swaying of eye contact that I noticed that when you're thinking and when you're trying to reflect and get back all those memories, so sometimes your attention from the camera was makes me feel personally connected. So if you could focus on that, that'll be great. And your ending, I liked you again revived the main points, but what I feel that maybe at this level now, you should target hook endings, wherein you say something strong and sharp and hand it back over to the table topic master. So the best part of your entire speech was the well-defined, well-justified logic and the variety of examples in the content. So that stood out for me really well. Your favorite pastime, I really liked the bit where you mentioned solace and peace in times of distress. That was a very, very poetic way of expressing. That was beautiful. And the recommendation which I would like to give you is I loved the part that you mentioned. I mean, you had been starting for the first time, so you said, I want to keep my camera off, which is absolutely fine. It is your, let's take one step at a time in terms of comfort. So no issues on that. But at times I felt that the topic was about what was the bad side or what is not so good about your pastime. You did not delve much on that bit, and at few bits you went into certain characters and books and you got deeper into expressing how you feel about them, wherein there was a subtle deviation happening from the actual topic. But what stood out best for me is your reasoning. And when you mentioned, I found that reason a very strong reason. The message that you brought in, that how Jane Austen's characters, they were set in such restrictive Victorian times, and the way these characters decide, the courage that they show, that is a very strong reason for you to continue reading those books. That stood out for me very importantly. So I liked your justification there. Then moving on to Aritra. Aritra, your topic was about the favorite city. I was absolutely smitten the way you were describing the nature. For a moment, I was wondering what where is this place? And I really want to go now to that place. It was, you were literally romanticizing Kashmir. After long, I heard, and I could feel Shami Kapoor wake up and say that, hey, you did it so well. Uh, the recommendation which I have to give you is, I saw the parts where you mentioned that how Google Maps fail and how there was a thunder shower and you got all drenched and everything, but you never said that was it really the bad side of it, because even then I felt you were enjoying it so much. So maybe you should have highlighted, okay, I think this is a not so good part, because you were absolutely not complaining at all about your favorite city. And what stood out, or what is my strongest and favorite part is, would definitely be your choice of words and your picture skew descriptions, and the fact that you are absolutely smitten with Kashmir. I also felt that if you had only mentioned the name of the city, which you were exactly saying a little more time so that it was clear and prominent, I would have definitely booked my ticket right away. So thank you for that. Then moving on, we had Anurag, your favorite food. Anurag, I enjoyed the part, the way you kept saying dosa. So that was a very quirky way of saying, and I heard that after a long time. You often don't hear that in West Bengal or Calcutta. People don't say dosa that way. So that was really fun. And you were in the morning department. Oh dear Lord, you have my sympathy because I'm a night owl. So I wonder how you did that. So the part is that I loved, or I liked the way you spoke on the topic with such brilliant personal examples that were so absolutely relatable. And the best part, well, before I go to the best part, the only recommendation I would give is, I know that your favorite food is so good that you could not find a bad part, and even the table topic master agreed with you. But given that we have this challenge, I would have loved it more if you had really pushed yourself and found creatively something, if not an immediate bad aspect of your food, maybe too much of dosa, what it can do to your tummy, something like that. Creatively, if you would have brought out as the not so good aspect, then I think you would have done justice to both sides that was expected. But the best takeaway was the way you described that how you would never get bored, the butter, the cheese, the masala. My goodness, that was one delectable description. It's so good, and especially in lockdown, you killed it when you described dosa that way. Moving on to the last speaker, last table topic speaker was Anupama Chopra. Oh no, that's not Anupama Chopra, because that is Rosalia Praveen. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. But when you talked about your favorite movie, you critique the movie so well. That's why I would like to call you Anupama Chopra. You will stay as Anupama Chopra for me after this meeting. I love the way you described about the reasons you like a movie. You explained all the facets which make you like a movie, and then you exactly related Bulbul to that one by one, and you justified that why you like this movie. But what I was looking for is, what about the not so good aspects? And since you were taking up a subject like a favorite movie, you could have easily critiqued the not so good aspects of where the movie you did not like enough. And what stood out for me is, of course, the fun part. On a lighter note, the idea of avenging husbands, because they have been the best advisors to all the married men here. And my husband will also agree with it. But that's just on the lighter note. But I liked the part that you mentioned, that how there was a subtle message in the movie that made you like it more. And that showed to me that you were able to think deeper about your topic really well. So thank you for that. And over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Rani. I wish I had a, uh, you know, technical method of knowing how many words you spoke. I believe while evaluating those 6 speakers, you spoke at least 1.5 times the total number of words they had really, made us listen to. Fantastic evaluation, so detailed. I nearly forgot. I kept the places in mind. One was in Middle East, one in Pahalgam in Kashmir. But beyond that, I really didn't remember much. But you had probably, you even remembered that The speaker spoke dosha in terms of the masala, the cheese, and the butter, and to such detail. Fantastic ability to emulate how effective listeners we should be. We can only be good speakers when we develop the ability to listen in detail and in depth. With that, I'll have the tag reports. So I'll request the grammarian, Toastmaster Anurag Jain, to come up with the grammarian report.
Once
Anurag?
again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So the word of the day was used only thrice. Once by Toastmaster Ashutosh, once by Toastmaster Krish, and once by Toastmaster Sheetal. There were lots and lots of good usage of English grammar. Like madness of more to wisdom of enough, we were drenched, larger than life, perplexing situation, enticing the audience, solace and peace in times of distress, untiring ears, error-free record, greed, uh, greed, uh, greed our permanent slavery, plight of women, vicious cycle, mesmerizing mirage of more, and ours being languishing. Now, some of the not so good usage where I and my wife could have been used as my wife and I. There are times when we say I and my family, but that's the incorrect use of grammar. We can say my family and I. The second was in their daytime could have been used as during the day, and person told could have been used as person informed us. That's it from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Anurag. Now I'll welcome Swarup, Toastmaster Swarup, as the R counter.
Thank you, Lingaraj, once again, and good evening once again to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. So for the R counter part, I have some counts ready with me. So for Ashutosh, who has spoken for the first time in this club, I believe. So I find no counts of or anything of such. So no counts for Ashutosh on that. For Parimal, on the prepared speeches, I found the usage of the word eventually to be used more than 4 times, and the usage of the word but used around 5 times in the amazing speech that he had. Coming to the table topic sessions, this was wonderful from Mridula, where she talked about life and compared it with an watermelon and the focus. I found the usage of so more than 4 times, and there were accounts for more than 3 times. For Kunal, he's actually belongs to the same state where I belong to. So for him, as he spoke, I counted accounts for him around 8 times. He used the word okay quite a lot of times in his speech. So that is my finding. For Pratiti, I found the R count was crossing more than 12 times. For Aritra, I would be, I found that the usage of and has been used 7 times in the speech. For Anurag, he is the grammarian today. How can I find any or ams in his speech? So all good. For Roslina, I am surely going to watch the movie Bulbul tonight. And the accounts went over to 8, and with a collective so count for 5 times. And I have no comments recorded or for the general evaluators or the table topic evaluator. They were all absolutely brilliant. I mean, everyone was. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Swarup. With that, request timer Toastmaster Piali to provide us the timers report.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening. So this time I am here with the timers report, and the speech was fantastic. Ashutosh Mudra, the first speaker, the time was 4 minutes 55 seconds. Parimal Sarkar, time is 10 minutes 13 seconds. Evaluator 1, Devarshi, the time is 2 minutes 07 seconds. Evaluated 2, Panna, the time is 3 minutes 4 seconds. Table topic speaker Mridula took time 2 minutes 8 seconds. Kunal took 2 minutes 14 seconds. Pratiti took 2 minutes 27 seconds. Aritra 2 minutes 32 seconds. So the time limit was 2 minutes 30 seconds and he took 2 minutes 32 seconds. Anurag 1 minute 40 seconds. Rosalina, for first speech, she spoke for 45 seconds and then changed it for the second. I again reset my clock and the time limit was 1 minute 35 seconds. That's all, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piali. With this, I will provide a bit on the great aspects of this speech for this session altogether. And then, because we are very close to the closing time, the first thing, the time management was really good in this session. At least wherever you speak is involved, invariably we exceed the time. But today, we all nearly kept to our times, and this was very well done. The SA role, this is for all of us to learn that most of the time we believe the SA is a very small and you have to really repeat the rules, but fantastic storytelling, and we should all try to emulate and give significance to the smallest role that we get in any of these meetings, and see set one fantastic example. Sweta set a fantastic example that even if you are playing the small role as a SA, you can still make it a real good speech. I would like to also take the learnings from Madam Seema, who in her president opening identified, prepared all the introductions, and really those are the real public speaking abilities that we all are trying to build within us, because she really cannot go by a prepared speech or something that comes through habit, and she exhibited in all that we heard today. Real public speaking capability was exhibited by her when she made that presidential address, and really very nice. And as I had said earlier also, we would all make use of Asutosh's extraordinary capabilities as a presenter to take great deal of learnings from him and apply it in our real lives. With that note, and looking at the time, we are exactly at 6:15. I would hand it over back to Toastmaster of the day, Krishnesh, please.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Dingraj, for that wonderful session. I hope all of you have already voted using the link shared by President of USpeak Toastmaster Close this meeting, I'll pawn the Dalgona coffee with chili paneer, with takari jhal, and all sorts of exquisite dishes. And she's managed to do it well. That being said, I now take your leave and thank you all for being such a good audience, and handing over the stage for the closing to Madam President, USpeak Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Diyashini. Over to you, Madam President.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Krishnan, for explaining all the dishes which I have made in this lockdown period. So Today it was a really brilliant session that we have conducted today as a last session of this tenure of both of the clubs from PMC and the USP. And it was really thoroughly enjoyed by every one of us, as we have did a one icebreaker speech and one project 10 speech. Additionally, a speech marathon on table topic sessions. So it was brilliantly done and a brilliant evaluation as well. So thank you everyone for conducting this session. So it is not only, it is entire teamwork, I would say, so that it can be done so effectively and efficiently by the entire group of VMC and USP. I just want to share before declaring the winners of this session, I just want to share one learning as playing the role of a president. So since it is the last session we are having, so just want to share with all of you, not to only our particular club. During our initial phase of this tenure, we had a club officers training program, and over there we were asked, we were told like every president have two actions in their plate. One is role, another is the responsibility. The role is the president. This is the designation we have. But what about the responsibility? Typically, a president does not have any responsibility. His or her team do it. A 6 members team actually do it. So president is only need to take the call. But a president's responsibility is also make sure if any member of the club or any member of the executive committee cannot play his or her role effectively, it is his responsibility to make it happen. And on this aspect, I would want to share like one hymn from Gita. There is a saying, Karmanya vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana sarva karma hetur gurma te sangvasti akarmani, which means it is your responsibility to do your job and don't expect for the result. You may be successful in your work and you be a failure as well. But if you always expect for a result and don't concern about your work, then inefficiency will embrace you. So on this note, I would say since every club, any club, community, corporate, any club is a combination of members. It's a teamwork entirely. Individual recognition is always given over here. But if the teamwork is not done effectively, then no club can go to any other level. So that's all my learning, and I would like to hand over the baton of this executive committee to the next group, which is going to take over this session from the next Thursday onwards. So that's all my learning from this tenure of 6 months. And additionally, I would like to thank you over here, Toastmaster Rani particularly, because in the last 6 months, I have communicated to her a lot of times personally, and she unconditionally supported us, and in odd hours as well, at 4:40 in the morning or 12:30 in the midnight. And she has done a fantastic job in her area director role. So thank you so much, Rani, for, as it is also your almost last day as playing the role of an area director. I think it's 30th will be the last day of your as well. So right now, let me now declare the winners. So as a best speaker today was Toastmaster Ashutosh. Then the best table topic speaker is Toastmaster Aritra, though I guess before getting the timers report, everyone has casted their vote. So Toastmaster Aritra won the table topic session. Congratulations to you. Then best speech evaluator is none other than Toastmaster Rani, table topic speech evaluator, she was. And the best category role player won. It is Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Congratulations to you, Krishnesh. And the best role player in category 2 is our grammarian, Toastmaster Anurag. Congratulations, everyone. And now I just need to, if anyone can give any feedback of this entire session, I would like to especially connect with the guest. And I think there are new members from IBM. If they're available, I'm not sure. If anyone can confirm they're right now available or not, then we can connect with them.
Yeah, Ankit is here. Ankit is here, and Kunal is here.
Kunal and Ankit are there.
Hello.
Ankit
Yeah.
is there?
Hello.
Yes,
Ankit,
hi,
go
Ankit.
ahead.
So can you
Yes.
share your thoughts about this joint session?
Yes, Diasini. So overall, it was a great session and a fun session as I expected, since Chris was the team out for the day. So I was looking forward to it the moment I heard about this session, and I would love to attend more such sessions. And I also wish to be a speaker in the upcoming session. So I would look forward to it. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankit. And I guess there is another from IBM, Kunal, right?
Yes.
He is also
Hello.
joining Toastmasters.
Yeah, so
hi,
hello
Kunal.
everyone. So basically, I had few other plans, okay, but the moment I came to know that Krish and Swaroop, both of them are there in this particular call, so I thought of joining it because just an hour back I was having a call with Swaroop. Okay, he is my senior and he's from the same city from which I belong to. It's in Silchar, Assam. Okay, so then I got a mess, but Swarupda was telling me that he's going to join a call at around 4:30 p.m. So I was not aware that he would be joining this call only. And just half an hour back, I got a message from Ankit that Krish is asking you to join this call. And I said, definitely, because he would be the team mod. But the moment I joined, I found out that Swaroop, Krish, Rani Di, and Ankit, all of you are there. It was a very fortunate thing for me to, to see each and every one. And then both the presidents, such a lovely speech from your side. Then I can see the general evaluator and other guys who had, did a fabulous job. Okay. So it was a nice experience, though I was not willing to join the call at that moment, but definitely I enjoyed it. And yeah, thank you. It was a lovely experience for me. Yeah. Over to you.
Thank you, Kunal. So
And yeah,
it's
one
good
more
to
thing I
hear
would
that
like
you
to,
know.
yeah, one more thing I would like to add.
Definitely.
So Krish is basically my mentor. Okay. So almost every week, I guess Krish is stopping me. But I need to say that he is one of the best mentor that I have ever seen. The amount of insight that he gives, that is tremendous. Okay, so I'm very fortunate enough to get such a lovely mentor, and hope to continue my membership in Toastmaster and to learn a lot from him. Yeah, thank you.
I'll take the credit for that. Huh? I connected both of you.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rani.
It's really nice. Krish is also our club coach, and we are also learning a lot of things from him as well. So good to hear that you know Swaroop as well as your senior. So I believe the entire session was an amazing one. So we are almost in time as well. It's 6:25. So I think we can end the session here, right? Or anyone wants to say anything?
We should take a group picture, huh?
Rani, would you like to say anything?
No, I won't extend time more. When I speak, time gets elongated, I know. So let's take a group picture. And I'm sure
Yes.
Krish will be sleepless today. So much of limelight, Krish doesn't like it at all.
Can I just add a little more to that limelight? Because today I'm really going to take Krish totally, because I just want to announce one other achievement, I don't know if most of you know, yesterday we had the V oration, and he has been awarded the D41 Good Samaritan. Okay.
Well, that is an award which Seema and Krish both have achieved. So
Okay.
huge round of applause for both of them. And they have achieved in different categories. So we really, really believe they deserve it. So huge round of applause. Thank you for reminding me that.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Okay, so yeah, who's taking the group picture? Whoever has the biggest fingers. Huh?
That's Krish. Huh?
Diyashini. Diyashini. Her fingers are always on the screen.
Oh, you are asking me to take the group picture.
Print screen with, I'll take it.
And who is good at
Everybody
like taking pictures? Like
It doesn't matter,
now,
Kunal. It's a
it doesn't
virtual.
matter. Virtual. 1, 2, 3. Got it. Excellent. Thank you, Pratiti. Thank you, Prabir. Avridyoti, this was your first meeting as a guest at a Toastmaster session. How did you like it?
Actually, I did not speak because I wanted to get the hang of things and I liked it to my heart. I will definitely be more proactive in the next session.
Fantastic.
And I'm excited.
Glad to hear that. My either Mridula or Sheetal will be getting in touch with you. Okay.
Okay.
And we can't use Hindi, so I used okay. So that being said, okay. Hey, and Balachandar is here. Congratulations, Balachandar. He's a new father, and he's one of the newer members in YouSpeak. And I've been wanting him to send me a picture of the new baby, so that I can join in his happiness. It will come soon. So great. So far, fantastic, guys. Thank you very much, Madam President. Let's join KTM in their meeting now.